Well, good morning, our beloveds. It is a Saturday here, way early, before the May message is to be shared, the channeled message to do the curriculum for 2026. So we are watching many of you dissect and disseminate what is coming through the ether, meaning the internet. You are looking at the data, the reports, the investigations, the reports. And many of you are dumbfounded, and you're also finding conflicting information. But what many of you have not really done yet is to go within, to find your inner space and place, and to tune into what truth right now, with your filter as it is, what it looks like. Many of you are still on the right, and many of you are still on the wrong. It's a play on words. Many of you are on the right, many of you are on the left, many of you are in the middle. Many of you are undecided right now because you feel like everything has been co-opted by something outside of what feels truthful. And you may be right. There is so much truth and discernment available right now, and this is our May instruction. May showers bring flowers. That will be the beginning of this transmission. May, in many places on the Northern Hemisphere, is where things really begin to sprout and bloom and leaf out. It is the time of year where there is celebration for spring being in full force, getting even kind of close to summer, if you know what we mean. And yet there is still so much frozen within so many of you looking out about a month. We can see probabilities and likelihoods and transgressions too, if you will. We know who you are, what you think and what you believe, in spite of what you say. We know your heart. Murder is not killing someone with a knife. Murder is where within your heart you wish someone to die. That is murder at its most organic, because you don't hold death as a sacred event. You see it as an end to your justification for someone's misery. You see death as a wish that you can bestow upon somebody else, instead of seeing it really as an end to a means and a beginning to a new journey. And yet many of you call yourself Christians or holy or whatever it is, and yet you hold such hatred in your hearts. Does this really align with the teachings of Christ, whom you claim to follow in one form or another? What would Jesus say? Sin no more. That's it. Repent. Turn away from your evil and murderous ways. He would not condemn you to hell. He would just simply say every day, try again. So maybe look at your murderous ways, your ungodly ways, however you define that, and find peace in the fact that you are in many ways exactly as flawed as those who have been condemned for a lifetime to prison for a heinous act. There is no distinction if the act occurs in your heart and not with your hand. And within that explanation, the hypocrisy of Christianity, as well as many other belief systems, where they say don't engage in certain behaviors, but you do them in your heart. Or you hide your behaviors on the weekends, knowing that no one will see it. But is that really a justified and holy life? Or are you simply living out your fantasies and your dreams in the shadow world? What if some news agency was tracking you for 24 hours, 36 hours, 7 weeks, and then did a report on national television showing everyone who you are, your inner thoughts, your deeds, your actions? How would you feel if everyone could see what was in your heart and how you were living in the shadows? That is the thing that we would encourage you to work on this month. The inconsistencies between what you say or claim to be and who you really are, in action as well as in deed, thought, belief, wish, prayer. Call it what you wish. And then figure out how to align with what you really believe. Either you continue to engage in those behaviors, whether it is the thought or the shadow life, and align your stated belief system to match your behavior, inner and outer. Be who you are authentically, one way or the other, or pick something completely new. If you were to move to an entirely new state, where nobody knew you and they didn't have access to social media to Google you, right? How would you present if you got to start a life with a brand new clean slate, where nothing from the past carried forward? Who would you present as, and why? Would you choose different friends or the same? Would you choose different activities or the same? Would you walk away from certain belief systems that you felt culturally, societally, community-wise, church-wise, that you had to participate in order to appear a particular way? If you got to move somewhere else and there was no sin or shame, almost anarchy, if you will, what would you choose to engage in? Who would you befriend? And what would the new patterns and rhythms and routines of your life look like? And why? That's the thing. Which part of you is incongruous? Which part of you is inconsistent or contradicts itself? Two opposing beliefs can be true at the same time. I love my partner, and my partner is incredibly abusive and toxic and dangerous. You would think they couldn't both be true at the same time, but they can be. So what belief systems do you have that outwardly don't align, but you are somehow able to make peace with? Therein lies your answer. Finding what you really believe to be truthful, and yet to assign love to something that maybe doesn't look like love, but the feeling that you have inside is love. And then let's step back and say, it's not that I love this person, but I have a deep attachment to them. So it is a deep feeling, a rooted feeling. And maybe this can't be love, because love would not feel this way with the ups and the downs and the inconsistencies. What should love feel like? And let me maybe align with that and see if you can vibrate yourself or yourselves, for some of you, and vibrate to new people and a new way of living. If you could literally hit the reset button today and start your life all over, what would you choose if none of the past came with you and we gave each of you, let's say, $500,000 to start with, so you could move to a new community, buy an abode, get a car, purchase clothing, and just start fresh. What would that look like? And no more than 500,000, because we want you to not be like the lottery winners where after 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, everything is gone. It would be just enough to get you started somewhere with a solid foundation without calling out other people who are looking to prey on you. Not to say that 500,000 is a lot or a little, just we're trying to give you a context where it is just enough to start a new life without the overly abundant, egoistic, anatomically I am better than you attitude. And then, what would you do with your life? How would you build your substance of matter so that between that point and the point of transition that you would feel confident that you led a fulfilled, complete, and ethical life? What does that look like for you? And then we will start anew the next month with June. This is designed specifically for May because this is where things come into bloom, and we want you to get to choose what kind of fruit, so to speak, that you will bear, because we will be known by our fruit, right? An apple tree will bear an apple, and a rose bush will bloom or produce a rose. They are very different. So what does your inner imprint say that you are? And let us produce that particular fruit so you will feel in alignment with your purpose, your essence, your inner core. And that is it, our beloveds. We shall meet you on the other side in the next month. And so it is. Namaste.